right? Let go. I want to actually see it work. There.
Well, that's exciting. When we're on the high seas rolling around, at least we'll know we'll be able to do dishes in style.
We're Chris and Sandra. In 2022, we bought a boat we named Bataway. On a foggy May morning, we said goodbye to Port Dover and headed down Lake Erie through the Welland Canal and on to Lake Ontario. We had a summer of fun boat projects and explored Lake Ontario and the famous Canadian Heritage Canal System, the Trent Severn Waterway. We met some great people and saw amazing sights in beautiful Ontario. We've got plans to overhaul the interior of Bataway in the spring, so join two not-so-young kids as we dive headfirst into our 2023 adventure.
I'm upgrading the electrical for the Galley. This 12 gauge wire here is quite long. Bring it around my back. It used to run up above the countertop to an outlet at waist height, just above the counter. And to accomplish that, they put these butt joints in because obviously it was coming out somewhere else before that. What I'm going to do is put an outlet here. So I'm going to put a ground fault interrupted circuit here. And this is the first one on this run. And then every subsequent one I'll run off of the load of the GFI receptacle so that the entire run is GFI protected, which is required in a Galley. So I got this box here. I like plastic just because then I don't have metal on the boat, which could rust obviously. And my plan is just to mount it here and I'll set it into the wall. Okay, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna put the receptacle in, terminate this wire run in the receptacle, and then all the subsequent outlets, of which there'll probably only be one or two, will run from the load on this one. Fridge we're gonna run directly off of DC, and then because we have a stovetop and a oven, whatever you want to call that.
An oven.
I want to put those each on a separate branch circuit. So there's going to be two branches running into the kitchen, AC, and each of those I'll run an outlet up to the countertop so that there's two countertop outlets as well that are on different branch circuits. We'll see how it goes. Can you get my hearing protection on my bag? Not gonna work well. Oh, good fit. Oh, Sandra and I used to build log houses and spent a lot of time cutting electrical into big logs, which meant modifying a lot of electrical boxes and chiseling out a lot of wood. So this seems very familiar. The Galley is actually starting to make a bit more sense, and I'll just go through where we're at. So first thing I did is, this is kind of the plywood top, and we just painted it with 2 coats of primer, a white primer, and that's just to protect it in case there's any moisture that gets in there. Hopefully it'll never be needed. And over on the left here, the first item is the cooktop. And if you look down below, and hopefully you can see this, you can see, so both of these will have a electrical cord. So the cooktop and the small oven, that microwave oven that we're going to have here, convection oven. And if you look down here, you can see that I've put 2 circuits in. And so those are 2 distinct branch circuits. The top one, that's the start of the branch circuit, so it's got a GFI in it. That's to protect it, so anything that comes after this on this branch circuit will be wired on the load side, so that they'll all trip in common. I figured that's the easiest and the least expensive option to do this. And then the lower one will be a separate branch circuit, which I'll get to that in a minute, but it's going to start over there, and this will be kind of the other end of it. The other electrical thing that I did is I chased a hole up into the map drawer, and the intent will be to run electrical off of one of these branch circuits up into the map drawer, which you can see, here's that wire that I chased. So we'll run electrical up here, and we're either going to ventilate this and turn it into a charging station, or minimally at the other end of the map drawer, we'll put things like wireless charging, so that we can lay out electrical stuff here, things that need to be charged, and kind of keep the clutter up here. Kind of interesting, as I was working this, I managed to pull loose accidentally, and there's a lot of space behind this, and it also blocks the window. So I think we're going to pull this, and we're going to put it up on the wall as a set of shelves. Haven't quite figured that one out yet, but get it out of the way, make the window visible, and recapture some of that lost space back there. So then we get to the sink, and I've kind of loose fitted the sink in here, and I put this on here. I guess this is to drain vegetables, but what we'll do is we're going to cut, once this is done, we'll cut a cutting board that'll sit in here and give us the rest of the countertop. And so if I come down to the bottom, underneath this sink, we're going to have garbage, because we found it, this isn't what's going to be here, but I just put it here to get it out of the way. We're going to have garbage on casters, because this was a huge hassle last year having the garbage out over here. And hopefully we'll have 2 bins, one for garbage and one for recycling. And then if I look under the sink, you can see I've installed the drain that came with this, the trap. I'd like to get a more low profile one, because what happens after this is there'll be a 90 to a 1-inch hose fitting, and then this will attach to it, which is the existing drain hose, which I think we'll just keep as is, because it looks fine. In fact, we'll probably trim it a little bit shorter, because we don't need all that length. Run it around the back there into the 90-degree fitting that I just described. Coming back up on top, what we've decided on, we originally wanted to do Corian, but we think that's going to be too expensive. Well, we know. The first quote for just a small Corian countertop to cover this came in at about $3,000, and we think we can do it for less expensively, but not probably when we're back to a larger population center. So what we're going to try, and we may like it just as is we're going to do a laminate countertop, and we're going to undermount the sink. So in other words, the laminate will come up right around this. So it'll be a laminate countertop. This is the color we're thinking. Here, what we're going to do, we think, this will be an electrical case. So we'll have two outlets coming. Where there's one here, there'll be two. And then we're going to have a kitchen cabinet on the wall here. So instead of coming out like this, like it used to, we just want to flush mounted kitchen cabinet. Again, we're trying to open up the space. So we'll see how successful we are at that. And then going back to electrical, this was the original outlet for the fridge, actually. So they had an AC circuit and a DC circuit wired into an AC receptacle, which was kind of evil because I almost plugged AC into it. Coming in, and it wasn't even in a box. So my plan here, you see I've already started. The DC comes into its own box, and I'm going to mount probably a cigarette lighter style receptacle there. And then this is the AC, and this will be the start of the other branch circuit. And probably it'll be right around here. I'm kind of holding off on that because I have to figure out venting for the fridge. And yeah, then there'll be vents here for the fridge, which is going to go here. I guess really we've also got ventilation going out this way. So this is better than I thought. Anyway, there'll be venting along that side. Sandra wants to put a kind of a little portable table on the other side of this so that when we have a seat here eventually, that seat, we want to make it comfortable such that a person could slide out this whatever table we arrive at here and be able to work here. Haven't fully thought that one out yet. I have loose thoughts about running video wire up through the cabinetry, but we'll see because we still have to figure out where that's going to go. Anyway, enough talking. Lot to do here. Okay, ready? I'll take that end.
Is it heavier?
I just think it's more awkward. Okay, ready?
Okay, we're gonna go mostly to the wall, and then I have to let go of the piece, so I don't want my hand squashed. Is it okay?
Okay, so but lift up as much as you can. Shit. Need you to swing your end in.
It's in, but it doesn't feel like
It's not in on
bottom.
this end. Just wait, just wait.
Keep kicking this end out.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
This is a little high.
Just
There. Is it just the one wire?
yeah. And this one looks bang on.
So there's going to be a little bit of discrepancy on the
Yeah.
square of each
I
of them.
mean, I think we live with it. I probably set it back so that it's at least like that, eh? Just so that we have.
It's going to be hard to clean between it if it's not set back a little
This
bit.
isn't going to be.
Well, I know,
installed.
but look how much distance between the hole you're going to.
How far back do you want me to go?
I don't know, like a little extra. Like the countertop's going to come out to here, right?
Countertop's going to come out to here.
So just enough space that it's easy enough to clean. It's not really close enough, I don't think. If it drips, it's going to hit right there. Can it go there?
You're not going to be in line anymore.
Does it matter?
I don't know. I'm just raising it.
It's not going to be symmetrical anyway.
I mean, that's definitely in there.
Okay. I think you just have to do like a 1 inch
Just thinking.
channel down the middle.
Yeah, I suppose. Hey, can you slide the countertop out?
Hang on. I need to take this out.
Just, it's okay. That can stay in.
More?
More.
Is that enough? Like what holds this in place down there?
Is it this? Maybe it's all here.
There must be something that lines the
Okay.
hole.
Can I take a look? So this plate goes in. Oh, I see. Goes up like this. I'm gonna need to open that up.
The hole?
Yep.
Because that has to go in.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Oh, I think it's all here. Okay, let me mark this. What do I need to do here?
So
Can you pass me a pencil?
this should have some elasticity to it though.
Yes. Can you pass me a pencil? I'll tell you what's...
I'm looking for it. Where do you think you left it? Oh, that's in the way.
Not a lot.
But it has to have a bit of a ledge to sit on. Oh, I guess it will once you've got rid of that.
It will. Want to do that one? Got it?
Yeah. underneath. Weird that the soap dispenser is kind of a burnished chrome and the actual faucet is a chrome.
Makes you think maybe they mixed and matched.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. But how does this thing go? Do you know what I mean? Usually this thing...
Yeah, there's a weight.
That's the thing that makes it springy? Oh yeah, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, you just... I see that's what the tape's about. I don't know.
I guess you put it wherever you want it to extend to. Like, I guess we couldn't use it as a deck wash.
I'm sorry?
We could use it as a deck wash. No?
No.
Guess we don't want it to come much further than the sink.
Right, lift up now. Let go. And presumably if I let go of this, that's the point of this weight, right?
Yeah.
Right? Let go. I want to actually see it work. There.
Well, that's exciting. When we're on the high seas rolling around, at least we'll know we'll be able to do dishes in style when we stop. So Sunday morning, which means we're both able to be at the boat, and we've just taken this box that was horizontal on the helm. Really hard to reach. Normally we were just kind of shoving things like the coffee grinder in it and a few kind of spicy foods.
It was kind of useless.
Wasn't very useful, and I always felt like it kind of obliterated the...
Look at the dust behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Disgusting.
Anyway, Chris had a thought that we should just turn it over vertically and put it up in between the windows. And then it could be turned into an actual spice cabinet, which isn't a bad idea, actually.
Well, actually, that's not what I said. What I said is this could be whatever. We could do a spice rack along here.
Pretty easy just to put a shelf in there and then some sort of clasp that would hold both of them up.
I'm not sure why we wouldn't get rid of this and just put a proper door on it.
Oh, I guess so. It's more fun to plan out what might happen than do the work.
Figure out the plumbing. Because we have the old style plumbing that nobody supports anymore. I forget what it's called. Sandra will post it down here. And
once you remember what it is, because I'm not going to know.
Those drawers are all 16 inches long, and there's no reason why they can't be 22 inches.
The sliders, you mean?
So if we recapture the physical drawer dimension, 22-inch depth.
So it doesn't matter how long the slider is? Just that it's close enough?
It matters, but bear with me for a second. If we go from a 16-inch long drawer to a 22-inch long drawer, we're getting almost a third of the capacity right in the drawer. So even though we're losing a few drawers, I think we're going to make up for it.
And when we pull it out, the only drawback is we'll have to reach back a little bit, or will it all come out?
These drawers should pretty much come out to the...
And it'll only be from here this way. So we just have to make sure whatever we do to this side, the seating area, doesn't impede a drawer coming out.
I don't see that being an issue.
And if we do the table the way we're thinking of, which pops into a bracket maybe down here and is more removable, then we shouldn't be running into any problems with things pulling out and hitting anything.
We should start planning the seating that is going to go in that corner. I have a few ideas, which I need to share with you.
And what we had originally thought is this has typically been where Chris has been sitting to work, but since he's not working for money for the next little while, minimally, that we kind of talked about it, and this seems like a pretty good place for me to work. I don't need a lot of space because everything is online, and I don't have papers or printers generally. And we can contain my work here, possibly have a pull-down desk to put my laptop on, and maybe a pull-down monitor that we could use for whoever's working here, because Chris will probably work here, and a monitor that might be able to turn, so if we wanted to watch movies or something, that we can do it from the other side. I don't know, have I recapped that?
Yeah, that's about it.
And I haven't really thought about what that means in terms of building something. We have thought about possibly putting an ottoman under the seat so that we can store food in it or whatever. And that way, if somebody wants to sit there and relax, they can just turn and face the other direction and put their feet up on an ottoman. Or put it down in the workspace there and be able to shift position and put your feet on something.
I guess realistically what we're talking about is it's almost like we're going to have a little charting station there.
Yeah, but...
Except that it'll be a workstation.
Yeah. And of course, the vents have to come out over there for the fridge. And we also have, if we're going to do heat and air conditioning, we kind of have to think of it in there too, I think.
Yeah, and I've thought a little bit about that too. I'm not as concerned about it because in reality, just by the way we built the cabinetry, there's like a 4-inch gap at the back wall. Mm-hmm. So that means there's a natural vent going to the right already. Like there's a lot of ventilation.
Where can it come out though? Through the drawers?
Just through drawers and.
Because it won't come. Well, I guess so. Nothing's really airtight down there.
I'm tempted to just see how it goes initially before I
put fans in somewhere.
Cut massive holes and yeah.
Right. So that's kind of what we're looking at on this side, and then on the windows we're thinking blinds. To make it a little easier. I'm not a big fan of curtains, especially ugly ones, which is what we had. But the big thing is whatever we decide to do for the seating area here in terms of upholstery or whatever, we're going to try to mimic that in some way with what's behind me, the main seating area. And that we want that area, which is going to be over here. It's a little L-shaped area. We want that area to be super comfortable and be able to stretch out on it and watch movies, and right now the bench is very narrow. Yeah.
There's a lot already planned here.
Well, unexpected.
It can be fixed.
Yeah. I'm not even married to the doors, so.
I think it looks pretty good, actually. What do you think?
Well, without the thing underneath it, which we're not going to have, and with the proper distance below, because that's not quite high enough. I guess I don't really have a problem with it. I think we're going to have to do something different for the shelves, because those are just space wasters. And I don't know if I would get doors that open like that. So we can do stuff with it.
Yeah.
It's going to look good.
There's nothing square about this. How does it look?
6. Yeah, so like the windows are out of square to the counter. So everything is.
Square.
So I think you have to do it visually.
Right. So
Against the ceiling, maybe?
I'm doing it, trying to go parallel to here and here.
Okay, that looks pretty good right there.
Yeah, so the gap across here is pretty even. Kind of the same thing here.
So-
I mean, it's not perfect. Sorry.
Maybe someone noticed a leak.
Okay, so we're gonna do. I'll figure it out in a minute.
Take it down.
Yep.
Do you want me to stick around so we can fit it?
Sure. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Okay, just a minute.
I'm not doing anything. I just set it down on the edge. It's all yours. Oh, it's like it's 32nd on the side.
It's a little tight, eh? Here, hang on.
I'm just holding up the weight. You guide it up.
Oh my god.
So it needs to go up a bit. Or no, that's where it's going to sit.
That's not too shabby, eh? I could pin this for a minute. I suppose I could. You hold it in. Up here, or whatever. It's not that hard now. Shit, it doesn't look too bad, does it?
No, we could
Looks pretty good.
build some sort of box to cover this.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
And then I don't know if there could be something sliding on it out to here. Not storage necessarily, but something like a hook that hangs down. I don't know.
There's a great attachment point right here.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is run 2 strips and glue them here and here. And I'll drill down there and there.
You mean uprights inside?
Yeah, and then this will just go over the uprights.
That way you can easily take it off.
That's the idea.
Oh, so you're not going to firmly attach it just enough so it doesn't move around. The actual piece there.
Yeah.
The 2 uprights you'll...
This is so you can get it the chase way.
Right.
We got a lot done this week with the Galley reno. With the cabinetry in place, the electrical roughed in, and the sink cut out and placed, it's actually starting to look like a galley again, which is pretty exciting to us. Next week, we're going to be moving on to outside and working on the bottom hull paint and cleaning up the boat. And we've got lots of galley renos left to do. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you liked this video, give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of our renovation project so far. We'll see you next week.